All right, for week 3, what we're going to do is photography. So I'm going to go over this with you guys and go over some photography techniques. And then for your assignment, you'll go around your house, backyard, wherever you feel comfortable, and you'll take pictures using these techniques, and that's how you'll upload it for the assignment. And I'll go over all that too, probably in another video, or I'll describe it in Canvas in some way. Okay. So I'm just gonna go over this real quick, go over the stuff, the different techniques that you guys can do when taking pictures. Okay, here's the objectives. We're going to identify features of a digital camera device. Now, we may not really go in depth on that. Everyone has cell phones mostly now. I mean, most people have cell phones now. And, and they have really good cameras on them. So we'll probably end up using that. Um, we'll identify types of composition techniques, capture still shot images using a digital camera, like I said, with those phones, transfer still shot images to memory devices, enhance photographs by using digital manipulation software. So this is stuff we will learn throughout the year too. This is like Photoshop stuff, and then uploading and transferring your images to your computer. So if you take pictures with your phone, sending them through your email so you can open them up on your computer and stuff like that. Okay. Now this is super basic here. I don't think we're going to talk about this much. It's just what these different keywords are. We all know what a battery does, recharge, power on off. That's super basic. The lens, that's the glass over the camera itself, and what your camera or device captures the images with. Your viewing screen, your memory, and strap. That's all super basic. But let's get into the actual techniques of photography. So this one's called the rule of thirds. And what you do in this, now some cameras, I believe even iPhones, but I know Androids for sure, you can adjust your settings and put this little 3x3 grid on your phone. And some professional photographers will just imagine it. But with the rule of thirds, you have this 3x3 grid. Okay. And what you do is you want to position the subject that you're taking the picture of in one of these corners right here. Okay, and a lot of times you want to make it seem as if the thing that's your subject is kind of moving towards the center in a way. But if this eagle were to be right here in the center of the picture, this picture maybe just wouldn't look as realistic or as real. But by putting it right here in this little corner here, it kind of adds more depth to the picture, more realism to the picture. So this is a good technique, especially when you're taking pictures for artistic reasons, and you want your pictures to look really nice. You want to follow this rule of thirds. Now, of course, if you're taking a selfie, that's not gonna look right. You're gonna be in the center or whatever. But if you're, even if you're taking a picture on a vacation, you want to take a picture with a cool background, putting yourself right here, or here, or even here, and these corners will make the picture look a lot better. Especially if you're taking a picture of the background, you want to show your background off too. You don't want to just be in the center, covering it all up. Here you'll be right there, and then you'll get to see the background. Just make your picture look a lot nicer. All right, lighting. So lighting's a big deal with pictures, especially professional photographers. Lighting's an important aspect of taking pictures. So front light is the most common one. When you take a picture with your cell phone, you can have a flash on, and that's creating a front light. And so in this case, light source falls on front of the subject, and then the shadow will appear behind him. Then you have side light. This is also more for artistic reasons. Most people don't do side light pictures, but I mean, you can create these cool effects by putting a light source on the side of the picture, and then maybe taking a picture from the top down, or angling it from the front so you can see the shadow on the side. Backlight's actually kind of a little more popular than some people think, but this is when the light is behind the subject. And what it does is when the light's behind the subject, the camera will focus on all the light, and the subject that's in the foreground in the front will be all dark and shadowy. So an easy way to do this, if you guys were trying to do this picture at home, would be to just stand in front of your window, right? Like turn the lights off into the room, or have the lights dim, open your window when it's sunny outside, and stand in front of your window and have someone take that picture. Or if you can figure out a way to take the picture yourself. And that way, you create that backlight, and you'll be all darked out. Now, this is also a popular picture, like when women are expecting, or they're pregnant. they'll take a picture like this in front of their window with that backlight, and they'll kind of turn to the side and let their silhouette show their belly with the baby and all that. So that's another popular picture, but it can create some really cool effects like these. Okay, and it said shouldn't be used unless wanting to disguise the subject's features purposely for effect. Yeah, because it's going to darken them out. All right, flat light. Now, flat light is like a cloudy overcast. There's no um, direct light source coming in. It's just like, I mean, obviously it's light because of the sun shine, still creating daylight, but it's not actual any direct source of light. So there's no obvious shadows, and it's usually created by a cloudy overcast. So to create this type of effect, you might have to get a little creative. You might go into a room where your lights are a little more dim and don't have as much shadow, or kind of cover your lights a little bit so that the room darkens and there's no actual light source directly falling on you, so the room's still lit up but it's darkened. You can try to find ways to get creative, or just go outside when it's cloudy, or stand under a tree or something like that to create that effect. Okay. um, Dark background flash. This is when it's kind of the opposite of the last one we did, which is this one, backlight. It's when the background's completely dark and you put a flash on your phone and it just hits the subject that's in front and everything else still stays dark behind. So to do this, you have to have a dark room, pretty dark, find the subject that you want to take the picture of, whether it's a person or a flower or just anything you have in your room, and then turn your flash on, take the picture, and it will capture that image with the light, and everything else behind it will be dark. Okay. These are focuses. So when you take a picture on your phone, it's going to focus on something right now, and it does this to create a focus on whatever your main subject is. Now, what's cool about y'all's phones is, and some people don't know this, is when you're taking your picture and you're holding your phone towards somebody or something, you can tap on the screen of what the picture's capturing and it will focus on whatever you tap on. So in this case, if I was taking a picture of these cookies, I could tap on that cookie in the back and it's being focused on, and everything else here is blurry, right? Maybe not, I mean, it's not too blurry, and sometimes people don't like that, but that's the way cameras are. They focus on something. All right. And so when you have something with a lot of depth, you can focus on something in the background. So this is a background focus, or you can focus on something in the foreground, which is the most common, right? Where we take a picture of this, but everything else back here is blurry. Now there is ways around this. Um, if there are some cameras with really good capabilities to get those focuses on both ends, but there's also ways around it. If you wanted to get the focus here, but you wanted this as well, you could take two pictures. You could take a picture of this eagle focus, and then at the same time, right, directly after this, take a picture of this focus. Hopefully, the eagle doesn't move much, and it's better if you have a subject that's not moving at all. But you get both focuses, then you can put it into Photoshop, and then you can combine the both pictures together, merge them together, and everything's focused at that point. So it's a pretty cool little trick you can do as well. Okay, so here's perspectives. You can do some really cool stuff with perspectives. I always like the low perspective like this because it just makes everything look so big and giant. So if you take your phone outside in the backyard and put it on the ground and take a picture with it, you know, still facing forward, it's just you're low to the ground now. It just makes the world look, it's huge, and kind of makes you imagine what it'd be like to be a little bug or something in the world and see everything so big like this. But it creates a cool little effect. So just you take your phone, hold it low to the ground, and take a picture. And I think it always looks cooler outside. You could do this in your house too, and I guess everything would look really giant in there. But it creates some cool effects with like trees and grass and things like that. High is the opposite of the low, so you're just holding your phone really high above your head and taking a picture that way. If you're shorter, you can maybe stand on a couch or something and take it real high. Um, not, I don't think it's as cool as low, but it's same kind of effect, but just opposite. Down. Now these are these two can get a little confusing with high low, but down is basically when you're holding the camera really high, but you're pointing it down. Okay, so these can get confusing because people think down, they think they're down on the ground. So it's actually when you're holding your camera up high and pointing your camera down. Okay, so you would hold it over your head or something like that, and then just tilt it down and get a top-down view. All right, kind of like some video games or top-down view games like League of Legends or uh, I don't know, whatever other games like that, you know what I'm talking about, where it's top-down view. That's what that is. The camera's pointing down, okay? And then up is the opposite. You're holding your camera down low, but you're pointing it up, okay? And that's or tilting it up. So like this one right here is an example of up. So it's down low on the ground. You're looking up, and you can see the trees and all that, which is a pretty cool effect too. So I think these are all really cool effects. High probably being the least cool out of them. But I mean, you can make. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you can create a cool little effect with this. I just think low's a lot cooler. All right, these are some awarenesses techniques. So most people do posed, right? You know, you smile for the camera, you take a picture, you take a selfie, you look at it. But some people do like candid. I mean, you might have some your friends that are on social media and they like doing these candid photos. Like obviously this girl knows she's having a picture taken, but she's acting like she doesn't, right? She's just acting like she's just chilling over there and getting the picture taken and she looks all cool. So that's candid. So posed is when you're aware, you know, smiling, things like that. Candid is when you act, you know, you're not aware or you act like you're not aware. Um, and most of the time, it's technically when you're really not aware at all, but you can create effects as if you're not aware and it's still candid, right? So it appears and it also appears in a natural setting. There used to be that show a long time ago. It was like Punked. It was called that. It's what Punked was based off of, called Candid Camera, and those people like getting tricked or like punked in the punk show, but getting tricked or whatever, and not knowing that they're being a joke being played on them on camera. So they called it Candid Camera. But that's it for this. So those are the different techniques. I'll give you guys this PowerPoint on Canvas as well, so you can look it over. And then I'll also post probably another PowerPoint that's empty, and then you'll take your pictures and put your pictures on that PowerPoint. Or I might come up with a different way of you uploading your pictures. We'll figure it out. But what you guys are going to do is go around your home and take these different pictures and try to get these different techniques, okay? And it'll be a lot of fun. And then after this week, we'll do some Photoshop stuff. All right, guys, I'll see you later.